Hi, I'm George, the Weather Dad. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And now let's turn our attention to not one, but two snowstorms that will be affecting the Midwest. The first one is going to be happening within the next 12 to 24 hours. The second one is going to wait until Monday night and on into Tuesday. But first, let's take a look at temperatures. This is on your Saturday. You're not going to see much change. It's just going to be cold across most of the country. Normal high temperatures right now here in the Ohio Valley. High temperatures now average in the upper 40s, nighttime lows down in the lower 30s, and as you can see here, we're going to be below that, especially on Saturday as well as on Sunday, and keep it going here on Monday as well as on Tuesday. You can kind of see it there. In fact, it's now starting to push its way a little bit further south towards the Sunshine State of Florida. And here we go on Wednesday. It makes its way in. You see again temperatures across most of the country just below normal. So a cold period certainly in store. The question is now, how much snow are we going to see? This is on your Saturday. This is a big system. I think the heaviest snow is going to be in this area, and I'm going to give you St. Louis, Indianapolis, Cleveland. I think you're going to be in the snow. Columbus northward. That's the line where I think the biggest snow is going to fall. Maybe up to a foot of snow in some areas, maybe even a little bit more, especially as you get the lake effects machines going. St. Louis, you'll get a little bit of snow, but it's going to change over. Indianapolis, I think you may get 2 to 4 inches, but I think you also may see a changeover, and that may knock your total down a little bit. But points north, certainly South Bend, Fort Wayne, I think for sure you'll be in the snow. So Indianapolis, you'll be the cutoff line, as well as Columbus. Cincinnati, you may get an inch of snow during the day on Saturday. Then I think it's going to change over, and then of course it's going to get cold again. So this is the way it's shaping up here for Saturday. Sunday, that moves off pretty quick. Lake effect snow is really kicking in. Precipitation snow along the Appalachian chain because, again, that cold air is working its way south. Notice what's going on to the west. Here comes the next system. This is on Sunday. On Monday, we could be looking at severe weather across the south up into the mid-Atlantic region. Wait until you see Tuesday. Here's that batch of snow. But this system is really going to crank up. Now, one note here is that most of us here in the Midwest, we'll get our heavy snows when it's already cold. And you saw the temperature maps. It's going to be cold. So now we just add moisture with it, and then we get our snow. So keep this in mind. This is on Monday, so you kind of look at what's going on here over the weekend, and you kind of see that thing is really going to start working its way towards the north. Here on Tuesday, it pushes its way right through. So this, I think, corridor could see some very heavy snow. That would include cities, in St. Louis, you'll be very close to it, but I think it's going to be a little bit further south for you. Indianapolis, you'll get another maybe 1 to 3 inches, maybe a little more, depends on the track of the system. I think the heaviest snow could be 6 inches or more based on information right now for points Paducah, Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, Columbus, Pittsburgh, and then points up towards the north. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this, but this looking like there's going to be quite a bit of snow around as we work our way into the month of December. By Wednesday, that pushes off pretty quick, so it's going to be a quick hitter, but I think it's going to come down hard and fast, and then more lake effect snows here on Wednesday. Here comes another bit of energy later on in the work week. So the bottom line is snow tomorrow for points north of St. Louis, Indianapolis, Columbus, but it shifts south by Monday night and on into Tuesday. So I'll have another update as we get a little closer to these storm systems. Until then, I'm George, the Weather Dad.